Hello there, Vic Benedict here. We're playing Gears of War Judgment, and this is my 3 stars declassified insane difficulty guide and walkthrough. We're currently on Act 1-8. It is entitled Vaults. So this is one of the cheerless missions that you'll do in the game. What it is that the dust is going to reduce your visibility. So if you do come here and you're having a really hard time, if you backtrack and bring a boom shot to this stage, it's considerably easier to do this because you're never going to be fired at from enemies on this. Every enemy that you fight on the declassified is just going to be an enemy that attempts to come up to you and melee you. There's wretches, cleaver therons, maulers, things of that sort. So there's going to be a lull at the halfway point, at which point, if you want to, you can go over out of this area and pick up a mulcher for yourself, and then you can bring it back in here. But this isn't so much of difficult because not being able to see is a big nuisance. This is the halfway point that I mentioned. What I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to plant as many grenades as the game will let me, which is 4, so that I can forestall the onslaught. Because what this is it's just a big onslaught that marches to you. So what this basically is that the visibility is a nuisance. The mulcher is over here, by the way, over to the left. I don't think I'm going to pick that up. There's also an onyx cache here, so that can give you an extra grenade. But what this mainly is going to be hard for you is that if your teammates go down, then it's going to be almost insufferably difficult and extremely hard to fend off the line of enemies that will just bombard this hall, because you're in relative safety back here. Things will just appear out of the dust, and it's a little unsettling when multiple things come at you. But I'm telling you, if your teammates are down, all 3 of your teammates, it's going to be very difficult for you to survive. And if they're at a point where they're extremely far away from you, it's going to be even that much more difficult. So what I would recommend is getting a jump on that first lull. See how we have the teammates all down here? We've got to make sure that we pick at least one person up. Otherwise, this is going to just be a nightmare. So you don't want to put too much distance in between yourself and your teammates at any given time. And you're just going to have to deal with it as best as you can when your teammates are down. And then you're going to have to make a good effort to go get them fast. I mean, at this point, I did pick up that sawed off, and I had some decent tools back here, and it didn't really come down to the wire too much, but I was able to pick up one teammate, and then that probably made the difference towards the end, and that's what is going to make the difference for you. But if you want to bring that mulcher back to the end of the hall and use that, you can. There's no stopping you from bringing whatever you want to this stage. You can bring a torque and a boom shot, although a torque wouldn't be that helpful because a torque requires accuracy, and we're not dealing with accuracy on this part. We're just dealing with, inaccuracy. So the boom shot helps out a tremendous amount. And then, of course, you can get that onyx cache and refill your booms, and then that will be extremely helpful. There's also a grub hole up and to the right that spawns at some point, but it's so difficult to locate it in the chaos. I mean, I know where it is if all the dust was out of the way. It's right up ahead. It's right there. See that? It's just too difficult to get it when you can't even see anything. But towards the end of this, when you do push up, there's just a couple guys left. I don't know if these guys were new spawners or spawners from before. They're just kind of stagnant, but just be careful as you clear this area. And remember, it's just a couple guys. Just clear those last couple of guys. But remember, it's going to be harder for you with your teammates down, to the point of possibly not being able to finish it appropriately. And remember, if you want more advantages, bring a boom here. I was going to bring a boom here. I actually did, but I thought that it would not be as helpful to people if I had a boom shot and they didn't. But the boom shot can be acquired. I think just 2 stages back, there's a potential to get a boom shot. And that is it for Baird's testimony. Each of the characters narrates their own testimony, and it's a section of gameplay that stands as as its own chapter. So that's Baird's section, his testimony, and then the next section of testimony will be Sophia's testimony. And she doesn't have the greatest stages, to be honest. I don't really care for her stages, but that is the vaults finished. 8 sections cleared for chapter 1. And until we get to the next set of testimony, please take care. And I hope that this chapter wasn't too difficult, too frustrating. It's extremely frustrating every time they reduce your vision, make the game less playable. It's not fun at all. Anyway, I will see you in the next stage. Until then, please take care.